Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple: products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. Now, this has been a thing that I have been preaching for people for a long time now, and it's being in other people's shoes. You know, before you're all quick and ready to jump to conclusions or to criticize them or to give off a first impression of them, and you don't even know who this person is. You gotta be in the person's shoes before you criticize who they are as a person and stuff. And that's something I have been preaching for a few years now. Not to say ever since I really started dealing with this hate train on YouTube, because it's people that's never that's something that I really noticed from these guys, is that they don't want to do what I'm doing. You know, they don't want to put themselves in my shoes. They don't want to do any of that stuff. They don't want to see things from my point of view. And I feel like when more people, and that's something that I've done before. That's something where I'm and it's worked, where there's people that I've criticized and stuff, but they turned out to be cool people. There was nothing wrong with them. That's just me overthinking. That was just, letting my mind get the best of me. And I think I was talking about that either in the last episode or a couple of episodes ago, where I was talking about Kanye, where, a person, I think it was the last episode, but when it's a person that just overthinks this situation, they just think too much on it, and then they don't have time to actually come up with a conclusion. No, they just have all of these different scenarios and different things just running through their head. They don't have time to be in a person's shoes. And that's where I'm before I sit down and I judge people, if they're out here doing some wild stuff and things, prime example, Trump, if he's out here doing some racist and saying some racist things, you try to be in a person's shoes his, to place Trump as an example, you try to be in his shoes, but it's something that you can't agree with. So my thing is, it's okay, if you can't agree with it, if you can't be with it, then I guess you have people, if they do ask you about it, then, tell them how you feel. But it shouldn't be something where it's occupying your mind 24/7. That's why I'm be in other people's shoes, but you have to be in your shoes. I guess be in another person's shoes, but make sure you're still in yours 24/7. Don't get caught up being in another person's shoes, but be in yours. Be yourself overall. Be yourself, And I just feel that the world can just be a better place, to understanding people a little bit better. I just feel that's the problem in this world. It's just people don't understand each other. I try my hardest. Anybody that I come across, I try to understand them. I try to see what they're doing in life. And there's friends of mine where it's you would think you would want to be around the same people with the same passion as you, but honestly, truthfully, no, I don't. Whatever you are passionate about, I feel that's the main thing. That's what we can, that's how I feel how people can bond. When you guys share this, I guess this same level of passion, but not this, you're passionate about the same field and things. No, if you guys got the same level of passion, y'all are willing to stay up hours of the night or sacrifice, parts of your life and things, you're willing to do that. I feel that those are the people where it's it doesn't require to be in there, because you're already in their shoes. You already understand them. And it's people like that. I feel that those are people like that you can become very, very close with. You can become very, very cool with them. And I was and and to use that as an example, my best friend, one of the leading cast members of Four Souls, Priscilla, she prior before YouTube, she was like mainly, and I think yeah, she's mentioned that they've her and her siblings they talked about that on their YouTube channel, how their painting business, and so I seen like how passionate she was about like their like the family business and stuff. And that was something that I took a liking to. That was something I was just saw like that's dope that you know like it's like that. Like that's something that I hope to have one day where it's like I create a family business and my family can be a part of it and stuff. That's something that I'm dreaming for. That's something that I'm hoping for. But you know, to see stuff like that is good, and I feel like that's what's made our bond like stronger. Is that, and then she's seen the same thing within me and my passion with YouTube. You know, it's like I've mentioned it before, like how she's been there with me in like the time of need where I've been dealing with some personal stuff, and then it came to like almost me sacrificing like my whole YouTube career and stuff. But yeah, like she shares that same passion. I feel like that what went through her head, because I remember the day I like told her I was like I did plan on quitting YouTube at one point in time, and I remember I told her that, and I remember, and I personally feel like that I don't know what was going through her head, but I feel like that what had to been going through her head is that she wouldn't want to do something like that. So what would she want somebody to tell her in a place in time where it's like, you know, your dream job, like you're gonna quit it, like, you know, you're gonna give up, you're gonna stop. Like what advice would you want to hear from a person if it came down to you quitting your dream job? You're gonna want, like, to whoever you're talking to, you're gonna want them to be there for you. You know, you're gonna want them to like tell you things and like let you see the bigger and brighter like picture and future. You know, you don't want, like, because that's something where I'm like, yeah, I've seen where it's like stuff like that has happened with other people where they thought about giving up, they've thought, you know, and I'm like, and I've been there for them as much as I possibly could, you know, like as far as I can go with it, like that's how like far I can go. But I felt like, yeah, I back on what I was originally saying. I'm like, I ain't trying to get all sidetracked and things and get off all topic and start talking about other stuff, because that's like the number one thing that distract me. I've realized that. I'm like, I'm about to do it again. But anyways, but no, like she overall shares like the same like level of passion when it comes to work, like a job that you actually want, a job that you actually want to do. And that's where I'm like, you know, when I sit down and when I think about it and stuff, and I'm like, with YouTube, I love it. I love being up in the hours of the night recording videos and stuff. I was just doing that the other night. I was getting all these videos done and out the way, and I didn't go to sleep until like maybe 4 a.m. Oh my God. I'm like, man, I'm like, and that's the thing where it's like, if it was any other job, oh, I've been heated. I've been upset. I'm like, bro, you got me here till 4 a.m. doing some random stuff. Like if the old job that I had, if they said that I had to stay there till 4 a.m., I would have quit the same day. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll stay here until 4 a.m. But you guys are going to definitely have to find somebody else to take over this job, because this ain't going to be an everyday thing. This ain't going to be a thing where it's just like, oh, this is something where I'm more like, if it was my dream job, then yeah, I wouldn't have to trip about it. But, and then that's another thing. It's like, you know, kind of like getting back into place where being in another person's shoes, you have to understand, like, if that's their dream job, there should be like no telling them like, oh, this is how you should go about it. Because if it's not, my thing is, it's like, if it's not your dream job, like whatever your dream job is, like you should focus on that. You shouldn't be focused on another person's dream job. Because to everybody that's gotten on me about my dream job, you know, about YouTube and all of that, imagine if I was there to get on you about your dream job. But you guys sit down and think about that stuff. Would you listen to a person if they're telling you not to continue on with your dream job, or you're never going to make it with your dream job? You know, that's another thing where it's like putting yourself in other people's shoes and stuff. Because if you have a problem with me not listening to you, what would you think you would do differently if I would approach you like like just reverse scenario where it's you and I'm approaching you saying that you shouldn't continue on doing it? Like that's what I'm like, when people, you got to like sit down and be in people's shoes. It's so easy to like say what you want to say, but to say something and also thinking what that person is like thinking at the same time, it's like, I feel like that's when you can have a better understanding with people. If that makes sense and stuff. If it doesn't make sense. So pretty much to say it in a much more simpler term, overall, when you approach a person and you're all like, oh, you shouldn't sing. Singing is, you ain't gonna get anywhere with singing. Singing is bad. Singing, you're not a good singer and stuff. Now, how would you like if somebody were to say that to you? Like, whatever but let's say your dream job is a doctor, and they're all like, you said that to somebody, then you turn around and tell somebody else, oh yeah, my dream job, I want to be a doctor. I want to be like, I want to like operate on people and help people. And then somebody would approach you saying, oh, you're going to kill people. You ain't going to be no good doctor. You're going to suck as a doctor. You ain't even going to make it as a nurse. You couldn't even play that one game, Operator, with the little vibrating things you had to get the bones and stuff. You couldn't even play the Surgeon Simulator. You probably lost every time you played that. You suck as a doctor. Now imagine how that would affect your spirit. Imagine how that would get to you and stuff. Because I felt like, yeah, if I was a doctor, I wouldn't want nobody to be telling me stuff like that. And I think, yeah, I mentioned it. I remember I mentioned it in the video. There was like a little sibling rivalry that I talked about between me and my sister in the last Four Souls video that I reacted to. But it was a situation where somebody wasn't trying to see it from my point of view. They seen it from their point of view. And I remember, so my mom had asked me when I was much younger. I think I had to been either starting high school or I was in middle school. I think I had to been starting high school, or I was at some point in time in high school or something. But anyways, so my mom had asked me what did I want to do when I get older. And I told her, I was just like flat out, I was like, I want to be a comedian. I want to do like stand-up comedy and stuff. And it's still like a dream that I want to do, like, because of everything that's going on in the world right now. I feel like it's going to be kind of hard. Although I have thought about it, I was just like, I should do like a YouTube version or something of it, or like a live stream version. Yeah, I might do that one day. I might do like a live stream of stand-up comedy and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, when y'all laughing, just like spam a bunch of laughing emojis and stuff. But anyway, so my sister, she's coming down the stairs. She's overhearing us and stuff. And that's why I was just like, I want to be a stand-up comedian. And then my sister goes on to say, she's like, don't you have to be funny to be a stand-up comedian? And it's stuff like that where it's like, I'm glad that stuff like that was said to me at a younger age. So because I was able to handle it. I guess like just from the family that I come from, it's like it's easy for me to handle like comments that people make. Like, I can't even remember the last time I got mad at a comment that somebody had made about me. Like, outside of, like, well, even on YouTube also. I can't even think of the last time I got mad at a YouTube comment. I don't think I've ever been mad at a YouTube comment. I gotta do that. I gotta make a video one day. I just gotta find a random comment and just get, like, upset about it. What was that one kid that was the fan of Sonic? He was all like, your actions have consequences or something like that. I gotta be on that level of rage. I just gotta find a comment. I don't know. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm trying to like, starting to think about it. I ain't never been mad over a comment before. Huh. That's some wild stuff. But yeah, then it's like, but no, like a face-to-face, like you're like confronting me and stuff. You're saying some stuff. Yeah, I can't think of the last time where it's like somebody said something to my face and it made me upset. Like, usually I just roast a person or I just say something like hurtful to them. I'm like, oh, okay, crush my spirits. Cool. I got you. So sure enough, yeah, after my sister said that, I said some comments towards her. And then she turns around and looks over at my mom talking about make him apologize. I'm like, I'm not going to apologize. I'll get whooped before I apologize. I was that type of kid. I was just like, I'm telling you, that's why I had to say that I'm so good at standing up for myself when it comes to the internet, because it was something that I grew up doing. When they tried to like say stuff about me or like, put me in a situation, I would stand up for myself. I'm not that type of person where I'm like, I'm just going to let people just walk all over me and things. I feel like that's like another bit of advice I can give off within this episode. It's like, don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people do that. Because then it's like, you let one person, my thing is you let one person do it, you're going to have to let a bunch of other people do it. Like, at some point in time, you can defend yourself and you can put a stop to it, but it shouldn't be something that should have happened. It should be somewhere it's all like, no, the first person that tries doing that, cut off completely. There, nobody. And you use that person as an example to let people know you shouldn't, like, you're not going to walk over me. Facts, period. If you try, you're going to have to take some, like, massive mountain climbing, Everest steps. it is going to be a mountain. You gonna die coming back down if you try to like walk over me. So I'm saying like you gonna get tripped, a leg's gonna get pulled, and it's gonna be a fight. So I'm saying like cross that bridge if you want to and things. But yeah, I'm not that person. I just don't and I know that that's one thing where it's all like people, they try like telling me that on YouTube, like, oh, you have to ignore the hate. You have to like let this stuff go and things. I'm willing to let it go. I'm willing to stop talking about it and things. But if a person is going to continue talking about me, that's letting a person walking all over me. So, yeah, I can't ignore it. I can't just let it go. But then there's stuff that's going to be said. These people are known for making up lies and stories about me and stuff. So, there are going to be at times where I have to defend myself. I have to say things. I don't want to say things, but leading all the way back to the beginning and the main reason why this episode is coming out, be in my shoes. Now, would you let a person walk all over you? Would you let a person say things about you? Yeah, you could turn the other cheek. Yeah, you can. But what if this has been going on for years? For years and years and years. And I'm saying, like, for me, it's been going on for like 4 years where it's like this same group of people. Well, actually 5 years where it's like, because if I'm not just talking about this like hate train, but this has been like other like haters and hate trains and stuff. But for 5 years, but let's say for you it's been like a little bit longer. Let's say there was a particular family member in your life. It's a family member, right? Let's say it's your own mom. Let's say it's your own mom, right? And she's been walking all over you your whole life, talking about you're never gonna be anything, you're never gonna be successful, you're gonna be a loser your whole life. Every time you talk about having a dream or following something like, I want to go skydiving, or I want to become an actor, or I want to become a musician, shuts down every dream of yours, every single dream. You ain't gonna stand up for yourself? Yes or no? You ain't gonna stand up for yourself? And I know people are like, oh, you gotta like respect your elders and things. Yeah, hands down, I would respect my elders, but at the same time, it's something that it should be taught to a kid while they're young. You have to stand up for yourself, regardless of who the person is. It could be your own parents, it could be your siblings, it could be your cousins, your uncles, it could be a family friend, your dog, your cat. You do not let anybody walk all over you. And I know that'd probably be like a controversial like thing to say where it's like even if it's your own parents and stuff. But no, like you have to like let people know it's like, okay, because I feel like that when it comes to that, like when it's like when you stand up to like your own parents on some stuff like that, then it would be easy for anybody else. Easy for anybody else. And there has been times where I've like had to like sit down and explain, because I know when it was after I had graduated from high school and telling them that I don't want to be in the military, I want to be an entertainer on YouTube. That was something that I stood strongly behind. So what makes you think like I stood strongly behind that to my own parents? My own parents, the people that raised me. Do you honestly think that if they told me to do things, I didn't listen? What makes you think I'm going to listen to some like 14-year-old kid? I am going to listen to this car outside though, outside of my house, because them freaking cars, man, they are just loud for no reason around my neighborhood. But yeah, I'm saying like, if I ain't going to listen to the people that raised me about like career goals and all that stuff, what makes you think I'm going to listen to some 14-year-old kid online? Or a grown man online or whoever? I'm saying like that's just stuff that you have to sit down and think about. Think about some stuff. Because would you listen? You didn't listen to your parents, so you're going to listen to some kid and them trying to tell you about your dreams and all that stuff? Like I'm saying, let's say you're a fireman, right? And you're putting out a house fire and somebody's like standing across the street telling you that you're doing it wrong. Even though you went through, I'm pretty sure they got like academies and schools that you got to go through training, extensive training. You go through all of this work and all of this trouble to become an official, confirmed, bona fide fireman. You are a fireman. You have the uniform. You can drive the truck. You tell people like, this is my job. This is my workplace. Like you are a fireman. So there's a house fire. There's nobody in the house though. Like, just to make it PG and stuff. It's a house fire, but nobody is in the house. Like, everybody, the family, dogs, cat, fish, all of them, they all outside and stuff. But the house is still on fire. You know, just so I won't put that image of your head as that somebody's in the fire and stuff. But anyways, house fire. You're putting the fire out. You know the training and everything that you have to do to put this fire out. But then there's somebody standing across the street saying, oh, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. No, approach it from this angle. You know the angles. You know the equipment that you need. You know you have all of this stuff there. You have everything that you need to think about. But there is somebody that's standing across the street because they watched 5 hours of fireman videos on YouTube. They think that they know everything about what you're doing right now. So my question to you, would you listen to that person? And they're not, and that's the thing where it's all like, okay, because then that's why I'm all like, you know, when I tell people like be in my shoes and stuff, I say in like many different ways, and I'll be all like, well, you know, now I just like cut straight to it. I won't approach them and be like, be in my shoes real quick. And I'm like, no, I'm like, okay, well then you know what? Here's all the stuff that you need. You watch the videos, so you have all the training that you need and stuff. So you do it. And they be the first ones to be like, oh no, like it's not my job. Like I just only watch it as a hobby. I only watch the videos and stuff. Okay, then you have no place or business to criticize or to talk about what I'm doing if you ain't gonna go out and do it yourself. That's why I always preach that. I always say that to people, and I'm like, it's just funny to me, like, their response is always something else. It's never the response that you would be expecting. It's always, like, some other response. It's always like, oh, like, well, you, like, they just, like, that's when I feel like when it just leads to, like, the hate and stuff, you know, like, then they just want to still stand there and criticize you and things, knowing that all of that stuff is invalid, knowing all of that stuff ain't gonna matter. As many times as they want to say that it does, it's not. So I'm saying, like, you have your way of doing stuff. If you want to do things your way, then do it. But until then, I'm going to do things my way. If you don't like it, be in my shoes real quick. Be in my shoes, or, yeah, you do things the way that you want to do stuff. So, yeah, I'm like, I always just like, that's why I feel like, you know, I wanted to just do this episode, because I want people to tell that to other people. When there's people that's criticizing you and telling you to do things, like, tell them, okay, well, step into my shoes, be in my space real quick, you know, and then you do things. And if it doesn't work out, that's when you just gotta go your own way. That's when you just gotta go your own way, especially if you don't know absolutely nothing about what this person is doing. It shouldn't be like you criticizing this person, especially if you ain't even in the same field as them. So that's why I'm like, yeah, you just go over there. But anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're viewing this on YouTube. And if you're viewing this off of a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you are purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.